Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here. The rose in front of me was a Rose of the Year for 2007 here in the UK and is rose tickled pink. A Florabunda rose bred by Fryers but available for a multitude of other substockists here in the UK. This is a Florabunda rose, which should mean it should be producing large sprays of flowers or clusters per stem. However, at the beginning part of June here, it's only producing single flowers, which are really quite large and showy. This is a fast repeat flowering rose, which is going to produce wave after wave of flower from June all the way through into October, producing these really large and very showy, but quite traditional old-fashioned style blooms. This is an upright and shrubby plant, reaching around anywhere between 1 metre and 1.2 metres high and around 90 to 100 centimetres in diameter, so quite a large shrub. This particular one has dark emerald green foliage. Let's break a little bit off for you and bring that close to the camera. Dark emerald green foliage with a mid sheen. There's a small amount of barbing to the back of the leaves, but the nice characteristic on this particular rose is it has olive green growth tips tinged with a little bit of peach and a small amount of burgundy as it grows. So as it leaves up at the beginning part of the season in March and April, you're going to have that telltale burgundy peachy colours to the stems, which is also going to be present every time the plant marches forward for another round of flowers. So a really nice habit. The stems are strong, upright and sturdy, so it holds its blooms nicely towards the sky and doesn't nod and bow in the wind at all. So it's a really nice characteristic. This particular rose produces these very traditional style flowers, deeply swirled in the center. They open almost flat. They're this lovely coral pink color with a slight amount of silver gray and platinum hues to the back. In colder weather, you can see it has a small amount of peachy marbling to the back of the flowers, which will actually bleach out in warmer weather. At the moment, the weather conditions in the evenings are still cold. They're down towards 10 and 11 degrees, which is creating that small amount of marbling towards the back of the flower. The flowers themselves are actually quite waxy. They're quite coarse. The petals are quite thick. Unfortunately, this rose doesn't have a great deal of fragrance and will be graded with a 2 out of 10 stars for the fragrance rating. However, it does have exceptional disease resistance and it's very, very good for growing in a multitude of places in the garden. Whether you're growing it in full sun or partial shade, it will also take a slightly rougher soil or a little bit of dry. So it's going to be scoring a good solid 7 for disease resistance with myself. It has a medium thorn count with barbs present in virtually all parts of the plant. I'll cut those and bring those to the sample camera to you. You can see small amounts of barbs there laced around an inch to an inch and a half apart along the stems, but a very, very pretty rose indeed. But I like the way it holds its flowers up towards the light. This very, very lovely spiraling to the center of the flower, and no change really in color between the bud and the actual flower itself. This one is tickled pink, available here in the UK and in other places of the world under a different name, bred by Fryers, but also available called Peter Bill's roses.